The story begins with a young woman named Millie arriving at a large house for a maid interview. Millie has a college degree, yet she still wants this housekeeping job. Nina explains that this is a live-in position. Millie has no problem with that. Nina walks her through all the duties and shows her the entire house. Nina mentions that she's expecting a baby, which is why she needs a housekeeper. She also asks Millie not to tell her husband Andrew because it's still very early and Nina wants to be sure first. Nina shows Millie an attic bedroom. This is where she'll be staying. Nina gives Millie some money for coming out and for gas. She'll let Millie know her decision soon. As Millie leaves, she thinks to herself that Nina will never hire her. A simple background check will reveal that everything on her resume was a lie. Millie uses the money to buy herself a meal. She falls asleep in her car. The next morning, a police officer wakes her up. And right then, Millie gets a call from Nina. She's calling to offer her the job. She wants Millie to start as soon as possible. Millie arrives that very evening. At the gate, she notices a man named Enzo. When Millie walks inside the house, the place is a complete mess. Nina comes forward to welcome her. She explains that she needs to write a PDA speech, so she's stuck in her office. She'll be upstairs. Millie cleans the entire house. And just then, Andrew and his daughter Cece arrive. Nina introduces Millie to them. Andrew seems a bit surprised to learn that Millie will be living with them. Afterward, Millie heads up to her attic room. She notices scratches on the door. She notices the window is permanently closed. Nina comes up from behind to bring her dinner. Millie asks if the window can be opened for some fresh air. Nina says yes, she'll talk to the handyman. Millie then asks for the key to the deadbolt on her door. Nina laughs and says it's so creepy, the closed window, the deadbolt. She promises to sort it out. Nina gives Millie a phone. It has a credit card loaded on it that Millie can use for groceries and gas. But the next morning, when Millie tries to open her door, it's stuck. She goes downstairs and sees Nina throwing things around in a rage. She's asking where her PDA notes are. She tells Andrew that Millie threw away her notes. But Millie did no such thing. Nina screams that she wrote them by hand. She breaks down and starts crying. Andrew calms her down. He tells her he'll take Cece to school. She can spend the whole day relaxing and preparing her speech. After that, she'll have time to go to the salon and get her roots done. Nina tells Millie that she needs to be more careful next time. Millie says she's sorry. After Nina leaves, Andrew tells Millie that he doesn't know what's going on with Nina. She's been on a real emotional roller coaster lately. Outside, Enzo is watching Millie. He asks her what she's doing here. But seeing Millie standing above, Enzo says nothing more. The next day, Millie finds a pill in the bathroom. But just then, Nina walks in. She kicks Millie out, saying she needs to take a shower. While Millie is making dinner, Andrew comes over to her. He tells Millie that Cece is really hungry today. When Millie brings the food to Cece, the girl tells her the glass is dirty. She says juice is a privilege, not something you drink out of a dirty glass. Millie goes and changes the glass. By then, Andrew has also arrived. He invites Millie to join them for dinner. Millie declines, saying she already ate. Millie goes to her room and starts looking up Andrew on social media. Just then, Andrew walks into her room. He's brought her a cupcake, saying Cece insisted. Andrew and Millie start getting closer to each other. But all of this turns out to be just a dream Millie was having. Millie goes downstairs. Nina hands her the key to her door. Nina starts asking her how last night was with Andrew. Millie answers that she made chicken piccata. On Saturday, when Millie tries to take her day off as per their agreement, Nina tells her she can't spare her today. Millie responds that she has a meeting she can't miss. So Andrew steps in from behind and tells her she can go. Millie heads to the Human Services building. She tells them about her housekeeping job. She gives them her address and phone number. The officer tells her to hold onto this job and living situation, or she'll be back at Bedford serving the 5 years left on her sentence. After that, Millie gets a call from Nina asking her to pick up Cece from ballet class. But Nina doesn't give her the address. Millie somehow finds Cece's ballet class. But when she gets there, she learns that Cece is staying over at a friend's house tonight. The friend's mother calls Nina. And Nina completely flips, saying she never asked Millie to pick up Cece. When Millie returns home, Nina says the same thing to her face. Andrew's mother is visiting. She's brought some china dishes for Andrew. Later that night, when Millie can't sleep, she goes downstairs, grabs some snacks, and sits down to watch TV. Nina had allowed her to do this. But then Andrew comes down and joins her. They start talking about the family game show playing on TV. Nina isn't in touch with her family. So Andrew says Millie can be on their team. He tells her that Nina's parents died in a house fire when she was a kid. No one knows how it started. For a long time, the police actually thought Nina did it. And just then, Nina walks in. She tells Andrew it's 2 in the morning. Andrew gets up and leaves. After he's gone, Nina tells Millie this isn't working. She wants her to pack her stuff and leave before Cece wakes up in the morning. Millie apologizes and begs for one last chance. Nina says fine, 1 week. But Millie is going to have to dress appropriately around the house. Nina tells Millie to stay away from Andrew. The next day, Millie focuses on her chores. Some of Nina's neighborhood friends are visiting. Nina tells them they're going to be looking for a nanny soon. She says she's not pregnant yet, but they're making plans to see a fertility specialist. After Nina steps away, Millie overhears these women talking badly about Nina. They're discussing something that made Nina spend 9 months in a psych ward. Millie starts writing in her diary. Nina lied about being pregnant, and it wasn't hormones making her crazy. She actually is crazy. Just then Nina walks in. She says she's going to need Millie to watch Cece next Saturday. She and Andrew have an appointment in the city. After Andrew and Nina leave, Millie finds a bunch of Nina's pills. They have side effects related to mental disorders. Millie starts looking for another job. She wants to get out of here. Cece overhears this. Millie tells her no, that's not true, she misheard. She starts asking Cece about her school. She makes Cece a sandwich. But Cece says she's not hungry anymore. Millie watches Cece play with her mini dollhouse. And right there, she finds her own troll toy in the attic area of the dollhouse. Cece had taken it from her room. Millie tells Cece to stay out of the attic room. Cece responds, "You too." Just then, her parents arrive. Andrew tells Millie that Nina has premature ovarian insufficiency. That means she can't have children. And Andrew wants a baby. It also comes out that Andrew isn't Cece's biological father. Later that night, Millie hears Andrew and Nina screaming. Millie is holding a knife covered in blood. She calls out, asking if Andrew is okay. Andrew comes out, takes the knife from Nina's hand, and shuts himself in the room. The next day, Nina apologizes to Millie. She says she wasn't honest about the baby. She was sort of manifesting. She gives Millie some of her dresses. Millie refuses at first, but when Nina insists, she takes them. Nina asks Millie to book tickets for a musical this Saturday. She also wants her to book a suite at a high-end hotel. Cece will be at a friend's house that day, so Millie can have the weekend to herself. Millie goes to Cece's ballet class after that. Another housemaid sitting there tells her that Nina tried to drown Cece in a bathtub when she was a baby. She also tried to end her own life by swallowing a ton of pills. But luckily, her husband got freaked out and called the police for a wellness check. Millie goes home and asks Enzo what he knows about this family. Enzo tells her she shouldn't be here. Just then, Nina shows up holding the tickets. She asks why Millie would book tickets for the day she's driving Cece to arts camp. Millie says she doesn't know. Nina says she'll deduct the cost of these tickets from Millie's paycheck. Millie tells her she can't afford that. Right then, Andrew walks in. He says they'll call the credit card company and get the payment reversed. Nina leaves with Cece. Millie starts taking a shower, and Andrew accidentally sees her wrapped in just a towel. Millie comes out and apologizes to Andrew. Andrew tells her he couldn't get the tickets refunded, so she should take them and go to the show with a friend. But Millie has no one to go with, so Andrew suggests the two of them go together. After some hesitation, Millie agrees. She puts on the dress Nina gave her and comes out to meet Andrew. The two of them go to see the show. During the performance, Andrew keeps looking at Millie. At dinner, Millie doesn't know what to order, so Andrew orders everything on the menu. While they're talking, Andrew asks Millie if she wants kids. Millie says yes, someday with the right person. Andrew starts talking about Nina. He says she used to be so different, but now she's just angry all the time. He doesn't know what to do. Millie tells him it's not him. After that, the two of them start dancing. Andrew says they're not sober enough to drive back home. They book 2 separate rooms on the same floor. But as soon as Millie gets to her room and turns on her phone to charge it, it floods with messages from Nina. The last one reads, "You are fired." Millie shows this to Andrew. Andrew tells her he'll talk to Nina. Everything is going to be okay. And right there, Andrew kisses Millie. The next morning, the two of them wake up together. Nina is coming home early, so they need to get back before she does. Andrew says Nina can never know, and he wishes he had met Millie before. They make it home before Nina, but the same thing that happened at the hotel starts happening here too. Nina comes home from behind, but she finds Millie in the kitchen. Andrew walks in and says he was fixing the drain in the upstairs bathroom. Nina apologizes for last night. She says she was very tired and doesn't sleep well in hotels. While eating, Nina starts asking Millie about her night. Millie makes up a lie. Then Nina asks her if she learned how to cook while she was in prison for 10 years. Andrew is shocked to hear this, but Nina just moves on and gives Millie a list of errands. She tells her to take her car. Andrew stays silent. Millie realizes that Nina always knew the truth about her. She knew Millie couldn't quit this job. At the grocery store, a woman starts asking Millie about her phone. She says most nannies won't take a phone from their employer because they don't want every text and call getting tracked. Millie understands now. Nina knows everything. And just then, some police officers show up and arrest Millie. The car has been reported stolen. It was Nina's car. Andrew comes and gets Millie released. As they leave, Millie apologizes to Andrew for not telling him the truth. Andrew says she doesn't have to explain anything. The past is the past. Andrew goes home and calls Nina downstairs. Nina says she knows he took Millie to the city. She knows he slept with her. Andrew tells her she's imagining things. Nina starts saying that Millie stole clothes from her closet. Andrew says enough. He tells Nina he would like her to leave. He can't sit and watch her ruin this poor girl's life. He tells her to leave his house now. Millie asks if she'd like help packing her things. Nina slaps Millie across the face. Nina gets in her car and drives off. She stops at the gate and starts sobbing uncontrollably. Inside, Andrew tells Millie it's not her fault. This was a long time coming. Andrew says he hasn't felt this way about somebody in a very long time. The way he feels about her. He wants her to stay here with him. The two of them start living together. But one day, Millie sees Enzo staring at her. Andrew comes downstairs and sees the broken china dishes. He goes and fires Enzo on the spot. Millie apologizes to Andrew for breaking his mother's china dishes. Andrew says it's okay. He tells her not to throw any of them out. He has a plate guy who can fix them. Millie puts all the broken pieces into a Ziploc bag. She's finally happy in this house. But then her eyes land on Cece's miniature house. Andrew comes in and sees the dishes in the Ziploc bag, still unwashed. Millie says she didn't want to cut herself washing them. Andrew picks Millie up and carries her to the attic bedroom. He opens a bottle of champagne and makes her drink it. When Millie wakes up, she's alone in the attic. And the attic door is locked. Andrew calls out from outside that he'll let her out. Just not yet. The scene shifts to Nina at the gate. She goes from sobbing to laughing hysterically. She's overjoyed. She starts dancing with happiness. She's cursing Andrew out loud. And right here, it's revealed that the real villain of this story is Andrew. Nina had nothing to do with the fire that killed her parents. She was left to survive on her own. In law school, she started an affair with a married professor, and she got pregnant. Nina worked a job while raising Cece on her own. And that's when she met Andrew. Nina found Andrew charming and humble. He asked Nina out and proposed to her within 6 weeks. Nina thought Andrew was a knight in shining armor. But then one day, Andrew noticed Nina's hair roots showing. He told her to get them fixed, but Nina got busy and never made it to the salon. Andrew didn't like that. He made up an excuse to send Nina into the attic. Then he came from behind and locked the door. Andrew told her that her hair is a privilege and it needs to be cared for. Confused, Nina said she'd make another appointment. But Andrew said he needed her to understand that there are consequences to her actions. Andrew slid an envelope under the door and told her he needed her to pluck 100 hairs from her scalp with the roots intact. Nina thought Andrew was playing a prank, but he was serious. He left Nina locked inside and walked away. Nina screamed for help. With no other option, she had to obey Andrew. To see her daughter again, she plucked 100 hairs and slid the envelope back under the door. But Andrew slid the envelope back inside. One of the strands didn't have a follicle. So Nina had to start again. Nina did it again. And this time, Andrew came in and gave her water. Nina went downstairs to see her daughter, but she started feeling faint. There was something in the water Andrew gave her. When Nina regained consciousness, she could hear water running. She somehow made her way to the bathroom. Cece was lying in the bathtub, and right then, the police came in from behind and grabbed her. This was all Andrew's setup. No one believed that Andrew was a monster. In the end, Nina had to admit to all the charges and confess, just so she could see her daughter again. Now everyone saw Nina as crazy and Andrew as the perfect husband. And that's why Nina blackmailed the doctor to lie about her being out of eggs. She didn't want to have Andrew's child. Enzo was her only connection to the outside world. He tried to help her escape by giving her a fake passport. But Andrew found out and sent Nina to the institute again. Nina knew that if she ran, Andrew would catch her and bring her back. And if Nina died, what would happen to Cece? And then Nina discovered Andrew's weakness. He needs to be adored. Meanwhile, Enzo was helping Nina because he lost a sister to a man like Andrew. He told Nina to run. He said he'd take care of Andrew. But Nina had a different plan. One that involved Millie. She was Andrew's type. And on top of that, she was out on parole. She was in prison for no other crime but murder. Enzo was against this plan. But Nina thought it was the best option. Millie would replace Nina. And if they got lucky, Cece and Nina would be free from Andrew forever. Back in the attic, Millie is screaming. Andrew comes in and tells her those china dishes were irreplaceable. His grandmother brought them all the way from London, but she dropped them and didn't even clean them. His family heirloom is now in 21 pieces. So now she's going to carve 21 lines into her stomach with one of the pieces. One line for each piece. And she better do it properly. He'll be watching. And here, Millie's story is revealed. A guy just like Andrew tried to force himself on her friend. To save her friend, Millie accidentally killed him. But her roommate denied everything. No one believed Millie. After spending 15 years in prison, when Millie finally got out, all she saw around her were creeps. And now she's trapped by one herself. Millie carved 21 lines into her stomach. She screamed that she did it and collapsed onto the bed. Meanwhile, Cece and Nina are having dinner together. Nina tells Cece they're free. Cece asks about Millie. She says she thinks they should take Millie with them. The next morning, Andrew comes to see Millie. He wakes her up with a kiss. He tells her he really does want a life with her. He'll give her everything. Financial stability. Education. But right then, Millie attacks him with a butter knife. Millie grabs Andrew's phone. She kicks him down and gets out of there. She locks Andrew inside. Millie goes to the kitchen and drinks some water. She makes herself a sandwich and eats it. Just then, messages from Andrew's mother come through on his phone. After reading them, Millie grabs all of the remaining dishes and a pair of pliers. She takes everything to Andrew, who's on the other side of the door begging her to open it, apologizing over and over. Millie tells him she wants him to do something for her first. She slides the pliers under the door and tells Andrew to pull out his front tooth. His mother loved his smile more than anything. And what's a smile without a front tooth? Andrew says he's not doing that. So Millie starts smashing his mother's heirloom dishes. Andrew keeps telling her to stop. He gives in and says he'll give her money. Millie says she wants his tooth. Millie tells Andrew she was in prison for murder. She starts pouring gasoline around the room. The second she lights it, Andrew will die. Andrew agrees to do it. Millie watches the footage from the camera inside the room through his phone. Andrew pulls out his own tooth and slides it under the door. Millie says she'll come back in the morning. She goes downstairs and starts watching TV. But just then, Nina arrives outside. She notices the attic light is on. She hears the TV inside and assumes it's Andrew. Nina heads straight for the attic door. But Millie wakes up and doesn't see Andrew on the camera. She rushes toward the attic too. But Nina has already opened the door. Andrew gets out and tries to grab Millie. But Millie attacks his neck wound and runs. Andrew goes outside looking for Millie. He comes back in. Nina is standing right in front of him. Andrew says Millie is gone. And he's sorry. He did a lot of wrong things. But now they can have a fresh start. He still loves her. He starts reminding Nina of their old memories together. He tells her she can't survive without him. How will she raise Cece alone? It looks like Nina might fall for his words, but she tells him everything he has is a lie. His daddy handed him his career, his wife hates him, and his child isn't even his. Nina says she'd rather be dead than spend another day with a monster like him. As Andrew lunges toward her, Nina pushes him from behind. Andrew falls down the stairs and dies. Nina throws a light bulb down after him. They'll say Andrew fell while changing a light bulb. Nina tells Millie to run. Even when Millie refuses, Nina insists. She tells her to go. She doesn't deserve any of this. Before leaving, Millie places Andrew's tooth next to his body. Nina calls Enzo. After that, the police arrive and question Nina. They point out that her husband has a deep cut on his neck that doesn't occur from a fall. But this officer knew Andrew. He was engaged to her sister. 8 years ago, her sister showed up on her doorstep and was never the same after that. The officer says it must have been quite an impactful fall. She rules it an accident. Andrew's funeral takes place. He and Nina were never divorced. So Nina will inherit all of his assets. She's planning to sell the house and move to California. Andrew's mother mentions that Andrew was missing a tooth when the police found him. She says the same line. Teeth are a privilege, and you lose them if you don't take care of them. Millie shows up at the funeral. She can't run because she's on parole. Nina hands her a check for $100,000. But at the end of the story, Millie arrives at another woman's house for a housemaid job interview. Nina told this woman about Millie and recommended her, because this woman has bruises on her hands too. And now Millie is going to help her. And with that, our story comes to an end. Let us know in the comments what you thought of this explanation. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.